Well, welcome back to Berlin.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen. I must say I was surprisingly really surprised, like very pleased with that kind of movie and where to start. Starting with you. You have this badass scene in that movie, which to me, to my belief, it was like very too short, but I understand that was not really a brief training there to go through just for that particular scene.
God, no. It was... I think the whole of the last two movies was building up to that moment for me. So there was a lot of training involved, and the day itself, the day in question of like filming that scene, I was just me and lots and lots and lots of stuntmen, and I definitely, wasn't as fit as I could be. I think there was a point where
that's not true.
Oh my God!
Everyone was talking about it in the makeup trailer the day after. How
really suffering.
Impressive Sam was, and he wouldn't let his stunt double do as much as they would have liked him to do. Sam was like, no, I want to do it.
I think there was a bit of pride in me saying, no, I want to be the one to walk away from that and go, I did it all. But it was very, very tough. And a lot of those costumes, as you probably experienced as well.
So heavy with the water.
Yeah, they kind of absorbed the water. So you were carrying the weight of that on your shoulders. So it was tough, but...
I haven't even thought of that. But in comparison to that, do you feel sorry that you just had the part of like carrying a camera in comparison to what he had to do? I mean, I'm not downplaying your acting, but I'm saying like in comparison to what he did, like
No, I mean, if you watch that scene, I mean,
badass, man.
They cut a lot. Look, I'm down the list on the, but I had a lot of action myself, and that bit where I could just before your fight, when I come in and save Peeta with Josh,
that's right, yeah.
I jumped down from that, like we were like 2 meters up, jumped into the water, up holding semi-automatic. I mean, I was the fittest I've ever been in my life. I did a lot of that.
Running the
climbing
marathon
that ladder, we were climbing that ladder, carrying all that heavy water.
There was a lot of running.
There was a lot of running.
There was a lot of running in
I was
this
definitely the strongest
movie.
I've ever been.
Well,
yeah.
Watch the movie again. What do you mean I did no action?
I will. But what I try to understand is like I must say I'm very overwhelmed. I mean, it's a world premiere. A lot of stuff is going on here around like the camera back section, all kind of things. Try to explain to me like what's that phenomenon that Mockingjay, that the Hunger Games are really coming from. I mean, the both of you have been working like in other projects. You particularly being part of a Game of Thrones. It's a totally different kind of fan base, I would say, as like what Mockingjay comes up with.
It's a similar fan base.
Yeah, I
because they
similar.
both come from a source material where you have purist book fans. And the fan base is this sort of level of geekdom, of knowledge, of support and enthusiasm that is pretty 50-50 actually, Game of Thrones, Hunger Games fans. And you really experience that when you go to a Comic-Con. And there's quite a bit of crossover too.
Would you say the fan base for Game of Thrones is more male heavy? Do you know what I mean? Is it
No, I'd say it's pretty,
mixed bag?
like Hunger Games, I'd say it's pretty 50-50. I've been so impressed with both franchises, how supportive and knowledgeable the fans are. They're both
it's
slightly different demographic.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I find that everyone I speak to, whatever age they are, enjoys both, bizarrely. Like everyone I've ever spoken to who's seen Hunger Games has enjoyed it as a movie. Or as a series, and I think that's...
It's such a well-crafted story.
It's sort of universal, it's accessible to anyone of any age, and I think that is probably why it's, quite popular. There are so many relatable subject matters that it deals with and issues that it deals with, and it's also got an incredible kind of supporting cast, with Jennifer at the forefront, so it's a winner-winner chicken dinner.
They're both amazing ensembles. That's the other thing they have.
Yeah.
So are you guys, so my last question is, of course, like, what's that special link with you and the Hemsworth? Because you had the opportunity just to work with both of them. You also, like in The Huntsman with Chris, you had the opportunity to work with Chris as well in Rush, and now working with Liam. What's that link with you and the Hemsworths?
Are you working with...
I worked with Chris on Snow White, and then...
Oh, of course you did.
Huntsman, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're the Hemsworth.
I mean, they're just...
Can't get enough of the Hemsworth boys.
They're just the best.
They're good looking,
I feel like an
they're
honorary
well
Hemsworth.
brought up, reasonably talented.
No, they are just an incredible breed of human being. Like all of them, they're very lovely. And do you know what? They're all really grounded. They're both. And I've met Mum and Dad. Like, I feel like I've met the whole Hemsworth clan. I feel like an honorary member of the Hemsworth clan now. I've got Luke left on the tally, and then I'm done. I've got them all.
Me too. We both need to work with Luke. There you go.
That's it.
Tick them off.
Yeah.
Anyway, I can't wait just to see like some more of you even after this franchise is over. Looking, I mean, either as a asshole as you played like in Riot Games, that was quite amazing, and also like you seeing again somewhere in the middle age. Thank you so much. Welcome back again to Berlin.
Cool. Thanks, Patrice.
Okay. Well, first and foremost, again, it's great to have you back here in Berlin. I think it's kind of a coincidence because just like even last night, I played with your son, Keither. There's this one game called Metal Gear Solid where he plays or he talks Solid Snake, like the main character, and now I'm sitting here with your dad. And this game is rather violent, so it's more for a mature audience, but there you are, older than your son, but very appealing, still very appealing to a very younger crowd. Isn't it also kind of funny to you at this level that you have a wider fan base than your son?
I don't even think about that. It doesn't concern me. That's not what interests me. If this film reaches young people and I am a part of that, then it's fantastic. But my purpose is functional. My desire is that they learn to look at their history and recognizing that they're just repeating it over and over and over again. That if they don't stop and learn from it and create some kind of agenda that will stop war, then they're dead. Their children are dead, their grandchildren are dead, the earth is dead.
Interesting to share that because like my next question was just about that I saw some similarities with Animal Farm, with the concept of it, that apparently like one system tries to move the other one, but it's apparently just doing the same mistakes. Is it something that bothers you, or is it that you even kind of like, I don't know, annoyed by history repeating itself? Because this movie has been shot like years ago, but there are like similarities to, especially when it comes to refugees, which are happening in that movie, coming to this current situation. Do you see like parallels to it, or?
No, I don't even think about that. I only think about the movie and the books and the young people today and their lack of interest in historical events and the compilation of those events so that they can gain from their understanding of it. They don't do it. And as a result, they participate in the continuance of this system that allows profiteers, because those people who start wars don't go to war. They send the rest of us, the children of the poor, to die for them. And the children aren't dying for democracy or for king and country or for God or for whatever. They're dying for the profit of a few people. And that's what has to be stopped. That's what this film is about.
And do you think that we can blame the young for that ignorance, or is it more that the elder that they're not properly actually giving them the opportunity just to learn about it? I mean, that's something you do with this movie, apparently.
Well, obviously, it's both, but it's the point about doing this movie for me was that there was a chance that it would be something, and I wanted to be a part of that something that would get young people off their rear ends, get them organized, get them to be politically engaged. I hope it happens. I mean, in Canada, my red tie, we have a new prime minister, Justin Trudeau. He's 43 years old. I mean, that's young for a prime minister. I hope he can change that country. They're beckoning to you.
Yeah, of course. No, but I really have to process that thing, and I'm very impressed by what you say. Coming to the way that you portrayed President Snow, what makes it really evil in the first place is that he always has that smile. How come that a smile can be like apparently the most threatening thing that a so-called evil guy came up with? I mean, apparently if you would have yelled, he wouldn't have been as intriguing as he is with that smile.
He's a powerful man. I mean, why would he not smile? He's pleased, and he's and most of my scenes are with Katniss Everdeen, and he loves her. He admires her. She is the synthesis of everything that he hoped he would find and could be able to promote to be the next leader of Panem after he's dead. But she's on the other side. And it's a chess game. It's the end of it. And he loves playing it. He just loves it. She's everything to him. Everything. The idea that she is dead, killed, is unbearable. Life is no longer worth living. Life is no longer worth living. Engaged with her, even though it was a battle to the end. He didn't want to win it. He wanted her, despite all his efforts, to find a way to win it.
Thank you, Mr. Thank you so much for that interview. And again, it's an honor. Seriously, I mean, it's been a while. Love and Mercy, still Alice, great performances, and now back to the franchise Mockingjay. I mean, not really back because it was the principal footage was already shot like years ago, and now you're kind of back. Is it a difficult thing just to recall? Like, what was it like again, like years ago? I don't know.
What was it? It feels very fresh to me.
Yeah.
You know, seeing the movie was wild.
Yeah.
And it did feel like it was a long time.
Yeah, I know.
But you know, we love being together. We love the people, and I think we take away really great memories from working together on set and just all being together. And you know, it's been a long time. It's like 5.5 years or something since the beginning.
And I know that the costumes used to be a kind of a problem. What about these costumes? They don't really seem so comfortable at all this time.
No, Yeah, I mean, District 13 was a real blessing for Effie because she got to go to work in
a jumpsuit.
Very simple jumpsuits. But, you know, I think it was important to sort of go back to the Capitol and sort of reestablish who she was. You know, part of the message of this movie is that you really have to be true to yourself. And, you know, I think Effie still gets to dress up at the end of the movie. It's like, it's fun. That really is her. That really is who she is.
And what about you? I mean, I wouldn't even call you, I mean, even though that you consider the president a coin, I could say like the Empress coin for some reason. You have that evil look in your, where's that evil look coming from? I mean, I don't want to spoil it.
Right. It was interesting to me to play someone who was going to have a political evolution, who starts from a place of really being a revolutionary and really believing in the cause and the people and real change, and is eventually corrupted by her desire for power and her need for revenge. You know, so that way lies, you know, the despot, which is what she becomes. You know, so it was fun to play that, because what you want, you know, what Elizabeth was saying about listening to yourself and having your own moral compass, is that you want a leader who's able to do that, who's able to remain uncorrupted. And Coin is not that. She's too driven by her own selfish desires.
As I said, I don't want to spoil it, but I must say, she got what she deserves. That's all I'm saying.
That's right.
For those who read the book, they'll be like, damn
That's
right.
If you read the book, there's no spoilers.
No, exactly.
That's my point. But then I talked to Lawrence, and he said, like, Francis, he said, like, well, but there are a few people, you're not reading books. So I understand that there are a few spoilers. But talking about the zeitgeist, because I try to really understand what it is it that, like, for once, like, especially like the role of Katniss, it really seems that she's very inspiring, not only for girls, not like girls just want to be like her, but also like, including myself, like also like men are kind of inspired by her. What is it that makes that role so specific that people see more than just entertaining in that movie?
Her sense of morality, you know. I mean, I think that's our responsibility as human beings to really ascertain what's right and what's wrong, and to choose, hopefully choose the right path, do the right thing. I think we're all very inspired by that, because that's the idea of our best self. That's what we aspire to be, someone like us.
And in general, do you think that this is also going to help for the cause? I mean, especially the two of you, you even, one of your speeches said like, oh, you just want to have these kind of roles so in the future you can work more and more. Do you really see that this is finally there, that we finally have at least a kind of an equality between men and women? Because I feel it doesn't really matter that Katniss is a girl, for that matter. For the first time, it really seems that it's genderless. Do you think this is also like for the future for you as actress and director, that this is also going to lead the way for the future of Hollywood?
Well, she's a great example. Jen is a great example as an actress, and these films are definitely helping the cause. You know, I find change to be glacially slow, but you know, this is all we can do is keep on keeping on and putting out this kind of work, putting out these kinds of heroines, and most importantly, the audiences have to show up, and that's what this does.
That's what it does. And also, I mean, think about the movie that Elizabeth made this year, Pitch Perfect 2, which is a movie all about women and women's experience.
Great director, by the way.
And
right?
with a great director, and it killed at the box office. Killed. People went to see it in droves. So clearly, there's an appetite for these kinds of stories.
All right, looking forward to part 3 as no more Mockingjay.
Yeah.
Me too.
That's right.
So thank you so much. It was a pleasure once again, and
Thank
it's
you.
a lovely one.
Thank you.
Nice to see you.